broadcasting live from the Free Speech Studios. Deep within the city of Fantom, with over 4 years of satisfying the curious mind and looking damn sexy while doing it. Ladies and gentlemen, Fantom Facts Society.
Welcome everybody to snowy Kansas City. Love the snow out here. It sort of stops everyone. Welcome everyone to Fantom Facts Society. I am your co-host, discussing with us team for you, Fantom Society, joined by the illustrious A Massacre.
Howdy, howdy. Okay.
Let's just play a little bit.
It should make your body tingle.
It gets me every time.
Yep.
I love it. Yeah, no, it's good stuff. Welcome everyone. Wednesday night at our scheduled time, same bat channel. We are Fantom Facts Society with we got some fun topics to go over. A big shout out to everyone that's coming over from Mo Facts to join the show. I hope we didn't run you off with our killer song list to start, but it is what it is. It's Fantom Facts. We like to relax.
TV in a sense, just the new age.
Well, you can listen to us. You don't have to watch us. Watching us actually probably discouraged. Maybe just take in our sultry voice. I think that's what Mo Fax has down over there. I've never seen his face. He could be ugly as sin, but in my eyes, he's like 6'5", strong shoulders. Probably could have played linebacker for the Gamecocks back in the day. But, if I saw him, that would be, it's like the first time I saw Rush Limbaugh. Do you remember that moment in your life?
No, I never put eyes on him. Oh, you mean in person or on?
No, just the first photo you saw of Rush Limbaugh.
I got you.
It changes everything.
Sure does.
I mean, you're like, God damn it, this guy's slick. I mean, this guy, the balls on this guy, he must be a raging bull in the gym. And then you get eyes on who Rush Limbaugh is, and you're like, where did he get the confidence? And that's where I'm at. And for some reason we have to do video. So we're persevering on the Golden Camera Network.
You're right. It's like the Alex Jones videos. I love now how he's flip-flopped. He has no hair on top and he's got a beard. His old clips, he's all clean shaven and chubby with a fake ass hair on top. He's just flipping it. He's keeping you on your toes.
It's time. It's time for Alex Jones to accept his age. Now he's a yo-yo dieter. And Alex, if you're watching this, I'm right. All the supplements you brag about, you don't take them all the time. You yo-yo. You're a yo-yoer.
He likes the sweet.
I don't care if you're uncovering dark portals to demons in the 5th sector of FEMA, camp number 7. You can't yo-yo diet, Alex Jones. It's unhealthy.
He's under a lot of stress. I mean,
no, it's not an excuse. If anything, that's even more of a reason to be in shape. Joe Rogan was in a lot of stress. Do you ever see a chubby Joe Rogan?
No, a lot of people didn't even know Joe Rogan was the Fear Factor guy. It's like, oh shit.
How does that happen?
That's the Fear Factor guy? Well, you got to think Fear Factor had a run and then it was done. And then he comes on a podcast and he's bald.
It's the one thing that kept me from watching or listening to his podcast for several years.
Was Fear Factor?
The fact he was the Fear Factor guy. I'm like, what am I going to listen to this guy for? He's not going to have anything for me. And then, the UFC, I like watching guys beat the shit out of each other just as much as every other male. But I'm not going to sit there and study their personal lives or understand each intricate move. It's too much. It's too much. I spent time focusing on football and wasted all my mental energy on football, baseball, and a little to basketball. I had no room left for UFC.
True.
And then I was working with this one guy, and he just kept going on and on about all this stuff Rogan talked about until finally I was submitted into listening to Joe Rogan. And it was
Ooh.
I power listened to Rogan for probably that first 6 months. Every episode I could find, I would just scroll through, listen. It was a changing moment, I would say, in my listening life. You ever had one of those with a podcast where once you listen to it, it becomes regular on your daily schedule?
I mean, there's a couple. I mean, the Drinking Bros podcast kind of did that. Like, I just kind of tuned in because they were kind of funny and, you know, some of the shit they talked about. Now I find myself, especially when I'm working nights, you know, that'll be the first thing. It's usually the first or the last thing I'm listening to because I really want to, you know, soak it in and see what's going on with them. But it's either that or, you know, a million sports podcasts I listen to. You know, I mean, that's the world that I live in. So, you know.
Well, and it's just sort of funny. Were we programmed to have a lot of times for our entertainment? Was that just something millennials were programmed with, or is that just a human nature thing where we just have our daily rituals and daily things we like to listen to?
I almost say it's just it's a routine. Everybody likes a routine in a sense. You get into it and it just makes sense, you know, and you feel like you're, you know, knocking shit off the list, you know, and you know, I work with a guy, he's got a list of stuff he listens to and whatnot, and it feels like a mental checklist. So he knows if he's on this podcast, he knows the shift's almost over and blah blah blah. It just helps him, you know, mentally focus through the, you know, through the grind and the suck of it all. So it's kind of interesting how, you know, how it works.
Well, that's what we're here on Wednesday nights at 8:00 Central Time. We're here to soothe you in to the rest of you're on the hump side, baby. And what better way to celebrate hump day than with a ginger and with May Massacre? I just think it's sort of interesting because we've had, I don't know, radio program 100 years, let's say 120 years of having things given to us in a programmed format. You know what I'm saying? Like in 20-minute sections or an hour section or 3-hour time slot. And now that we have been released from that control of the only way to get our media, we have still chosen to give ourselves, because I do the same thing. I schedule, if I miss no agenda, it bugs me until I listen to it because it just throws my week off.
Yep.
And same thing with Who Are These Podcasts? I don't know if you ever listened to that show. Great show. But I'm not, I still like to just check in on their show on Wednesdays because, it's usually, but I can't do anything daily. Dan Carlin, like I have to mentally reserve a day to listen to Dan Carlin. Like I can't just work and listen to Dan Carlin. Like I have to sit down. I have to explain to my girlfriend what's going on. I'm like, listen, there's a guy that once a year drops a 9-hour podcast, and I would be thrilled if you listen, but if you don't, I understand.
No, because that's a lot. That was, that we talked about that with Dan, was those marathon streams.
But they're worth it. When you invest it, when you invest your time into a Dan Carlin Hardcore History podcast, you come out of it 15 days later a better human being. You may have lost family members or your wife may have left you, but you will have a better perspective on why she did.
My kind of thing is listening to Dan. I'm like, man, I wish it was Thanksgiving or some kind of gathering so I could just vomit all over with all the knowledge and the info that I picked up. So I seem real, on top of it.
It is true. Like you try to find ways to sneak in how the World War I German army's outfit was revolutionary at the time. I found myself doing that. Be like, has cool uniforms, Russian Spetsnaz. I'm like, well, as a matter of fact, in World War I, an ancient English author said that his German outfit was one of the most spectacular things you'd ever seen. And then you lose all your friends.
Yeah.
And it's okay. I get it. But I mean, you will just, it's not, if you get a chance, treat yourself. Take yourself out on a mental date, get an eye massager, put it on, and just crank out some Dan Carlin for 5 hours. And
thank us.
Yeah, it's amazing. All right, we got some stuff to get to. A lot of stuff going on this week, dude. And we're not going to go over what everyone else is talking about. We get it, people. We get it. Doge is crazy. Elon Musk is crazy. The Democrats are crazy. Okay, we'll talk a little bit about crazy Democrats today because it's just sounding boy. They're the craziest ones so far. Like we literally have a billionaire in the White House running amok, explaining to us how only 10,000 people can retire a month because to get their files involves going 230 feet down into a mine shaft to find their records and then bringing it up. And so they literally base the amount of people they can retire a month off of the speed of that elevator.
Dang.
And there's Democrats out there doing crazier stuff than that. So, that's not my fault. If you want, we share a link in the comments. If you're watching on YouTube or Twitch, you'll be able to see it. X, good luck. Fantom Facts Society on YouTube. It's StreamYard, man. I wish I could communicate with people on X, but
hop over to the YouTube.
Yeah, hop over to the YouTube. And then get the link, and you'll be able to call in if you got something you want to say. But clips for tonight, and May, you got a couple interesting things too. But I have been. I just want to. For those of you watching Fantom Facts for the first time, it's only fitting that we sort of just give you a little glimpse if a clip could do that, and that is us being concerned for your safety as followers of Fantom Facts. So here is a public service announcement for getting on a plane in 2025.
For this plane takeoff, ain't none of y'all important, right? Ain't no millionaires, no billionaires, no like tech giants, no Bitcoin motherfuckers on this plane, right? Because they crashing these motherfuckers. Y'all know that. Stop looking at me. She look important. Hey, give me a ticket to Spirit Airlines. I ain't doing this.
Just friendly reminder.
That's 100%. That's right on the nose. You might not want to sit near the nose of the plane, but hey, or the side or the back.
Verify the clientele getting on that. There's been 3 more plane incidents since our last show, May.
Yeah.
I don't know. And the one, did you see the? I have to pull it up.
I mean, you can't blame it all on DEI hires either. I don't. We don't understand what's going on here. But
now they're not even talking about it now.
Oh, it's
they're
just
not
a
even
normal occurrence.
Like, do you just need do you have to have what is the biggest plane they got out there? 747? Like, do you have to have a 747 crash for it to make news now? Like, it was a 60-man jet. Let's let it slide. Elon's at the Treasury. That's the news right now. Is
really
not about that. And what was the one? Was it Motley Crue?
Yeah,
Motley Crue. Yeah, that
the
plane.
Motley Crue, Vince Gill or something plane that ran into the other one. Yeah, saw that one.
I mean, it begs the question. Like, listen, the DEI second day in the office, fun angle to take. I get it. It's a scapegoat. We're going right in. You might as well blame leadership because you're getting rid of everyone.
Yeah.
And there is a high probability that some of these people were unqualified. I mean, that's possible. I'm willing to say that. I don't know. I'm not an air traffic controller.
Mm-mm.
But I've been on it. I've been to airports and airplanes, and I don't ever remember stuff like this when I was a kid.
No.
I remember like failures in the plane happening, or like a wheel getting jammed, and then the fuselage getting on fire. I don't
Couldn't
remember.
de-ice the plane in time. Yeah, not what's going on now. I mean,
I don't remember playing skydive. I mean, like nose diving into the ground.
no.
Hey,
Is it going to come to a time where instead of peanuts and water, they hand out, parachutes and just, I don't know, body armor?
VR headsets.
Oh.
You just put VR headsets in, and then it automatically reacts to the G-force you're experiencing before collision. So you never really told anything's going on. You just think it's part of the VR. You're like, oh, God damn, this is realistic.
That sounds terrible. I wish we had a sponsorship with like Greyhound or somebody, because I mean we'd be pushing them like a son of a bitch right now. Take your local bus route.
You're thinking too tiny. Boeing, buy us. We'll never talk about it again.
Yeah.
You won't have to listen. You won't have to worry about the 44 people online watching this show ever finding out the truth.
Nope. Should we put those links in? If anybody made the hop over to YouTube?
Oh, yeah. Let's here we go. Good call. Let me see if I can link is published, everyone.
There they go.
StreamYard link. You click on that, you can feel free to join in.
Yeah, come talk to us.
Yeah, talk about. Do you think, dude, that it's malpractice from the manufacturing standpoint, and that's what's causing these planes to go down all of a sudden? Or, I mean, how do you have this much user error happen within 3 weeks of a president getting elected?
I don't know. That's the crazy part about it.
I'm not saying anything as far as great conspiracy to cause havoc. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying it's a little odd. Keep it on your radar. There's some good pilots out there making YouTube content right now, explaining what their take on it is. So that's useful. I love that, because these are people who know, that's their livelihood to understand these matters. So, but as we can see, even that can be manipulated. So, yeah.
No, you're very true. I know my TikTok's been flooded with pilots coming out, and anywhere from the casual I can't even speak, casual pilot to the commercial and professional, private. So it's
have they said
interesting.
anything about the nose diving? I think that is the craziest thing.
No, I haven't seen anything. I saw it on X, but I didn't. I haven't seen anything on TikTok, or haven't dove much into that one, because I think I just saw that one today. I think it a couple days old, aren't we?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
All right. Well, yeah, maybe if you find one of them TikTok pilots, you can clip it for the show. I think that I've only seen 2 different pilots talk about it so far, and I haven't even heard about the Motley Crue incident yet, what that was all about. So I'm behind on finding out some of the information on this stuff. What I'm not behind on is how serious state troopers take fishing.
It's right around that 1 pound size. This guy didn't hit it very hard. Oh, wow.
Oh, this is adorable, right? These kids could be out slinging drugs on the street, but instead they're just fishing. They're making a little YouTube YouTube is millennial. They're making a little TikTok content. And what a great thing. If I was driving by and saw a couple kids fishing, What would be your first thought, May?
I mean, they're not causing any harm. I mean, the only thing, you really have to worry about is just shitty neighbors. If that's a private pond or, there's whatever, because, there's a bunch of Karens in the world.
Neighbors aside, I'm just saying you see two young men out there,
Fishing.
Yeah. Your initial gut feeling.
Good for them. I remember when I was a kid and fishing.
Exactly.
This guy did not hit it very hard. He kind of just barely nipped the back. But yeah.
That's my fish. All right. What's his name? Wally?
This is your fish? This is your fish? What? How? We'll leave right here. We'll up.
Humane Society for the State Police.
All right. So I think we can agree, kids maybe messed up here. Shouldn't have been fishing. Sign appears to have been easily visible. Man has made his point. Now, I'm not going to come out and yell at a bunch of 15-year-olds for fishing, telling them you're stealing my fish. But I get it. That's that dude's life. Everything is theft or non-theft to him, I guess. I don't even know if state troopers do that. But I know they like to steal beer. But besides that, I don't know. I don't know what their definition is here. Okay, we'll go.
That's on video.
Once again, don't be dicks to kids because they're smarter with technology than you are. Right? It's a different
They're always
world.
live. They're always live. If you don't see it, you got to know they're live. So
I am sorry, millennials. We are the last young generation that had to take shit from older people, and we didn't have devices to capture them being horrible human beings. But just because that's the case for us, we're the last generation that had no voice growing up. Everyone else got a voice now. So you just be nice, be firm.
Sir, we're leaving right now. I'm not trying to take the fish. We're just.
Put him back. Put him back right now.
It's going back. I just need to get the hook out. It's 1 second.
All right, so de-escalate it. It appears.
I mean, he's even using sir. He's using his manners,
It
he's
is
not
sad
shitty.
when a 15-year-old has to be the one that de-escalates. So I'm assuming he's 15. He might be younger than that. But here he is doing the job of an adult and de-escalating the situation. So we think to ourselves, well, now problem resolved, obviously.
There's signs here. No fishing. I work with the state police K9. I want you guys out of here. You're not out here. I lock you up or they do. I can come here. I'm a fucking state trooper. You don't give me no shit.
I'm not. I'm sorry. I'm trying to get the hook out. He's out.
Look what you're doing to him.
He's fine.
Get him and get out of here. I'm going to show you something. You see that sign? See them signs posted here? Yeah. I catch you in here. I cut you on my ground, one here. I'll blow your brains out. I'm a state trooper, and I'll get away with it.
All right. There it is.
What a piece of shit. And see, and he's the one, he wonders why everyone hates cops.
It's the thin blue line. Meanwhile, you're out there threatening to blow kids' brains out because they're fishing on your property.
Yeah. I mean, they're going to catch and release most likely anyways. Like, he was like, you're hurting the fish. You're hurting the fish.
You see what you're getting, Billy?
Yeah.
You can barely flop.
Yeah, he probably went home and beat his wife later, too. Kicked his dog.
I said no tuna in the casserole. You know how many tuna die?
Yeah.
It was this guy. I mean, is he just this? I'm sorry if you're from Colorado. Where's the camera? I'm sorry. But I have never met. Listen, I was involved in a conversation. Not involved, begrudgingly put into a conversation where they were talking about the type of people who use barbs on their hook disgusts them. Right? Now, when you're disgusted by how someone catches a fish, I'm sorry, man. Like,
but what's the context? Like, why a barb? Like, is it just cause more damage? Is it like what's the point? Because normally you're gonna catch a fish to cook it and eat it.
Don't make me argue this for them.
No, I'm not. I'm just saying. I don't know. I mean, I'd kind of have to laugh at somebody if they're like, barbs are disgusting to fish with.
This is how that conversation went. First of all, we're at a resort, right? I'm a construction worker working on the mountain, covered in mud, 8 days out of the week. And I get a little grill time on this resort, and there are these two guys there, father-son combo, and they're talking to my partner, who's also from the same state as them. Now, these people are out on they're drinking wine, which, okay, not the choice of drink I would have with my son at a resort, like, hey, let's break open this bottle of Chardonnay, my boy. But whatever, whatever floats your boat. And so they're out there drinking wine, and they find out he's a fly fisherman, and they just go, talking about the humane use of the fish. Do you wear gloves when you touch the fish? Do you make eye contact as you fuck your fish? All these sorts of things I never thought of doing with a fish these people are talking about. And I am just trying to stay out of this conversation. But no, eventually they look at me and they go, are you a fly fisherman? Literally. And I said, no, I'm a cat fisherman. And they did not talk to me for the rest of the night. They shifted their body away from me. Because I use a triple hook, and all three of them have like 8 barbs wrapped around them so that it will just gut them as they try to eat it. And then I can enjoy delicious catfish nugget. But, it's beside the
that's
point.
a catfish. You need to pack a little bit more punch for a catfish.
I lost.
But I mean, did these people get in their Subaru with their butt plugs and drive back to California, or just right up the street to Boulder?
Oil money. These were oil money Texans.
No, that doesn't sound right.
It makes you feel sick to your stomach, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Whatever show they're playing on TV right now about what is that show?
Landman. It's really good.
Landman. That is a full-on lie. These are uppity, prissy. It's like Yellowstone mixed with Atlanta Housewives. That's the type of that's exactly the type of person I was dealing with there.
Oh, okay.
You can't make eye contact with me because I fish for catfish.
You're a peasant. You're below them.
I was. I probably wouldn't have been able to tell a difference between their $300 bottle of wine and Boone's.
Yeah.
It's all right. It's because I drink liquor like a man. Well, you have your wife piss down your leg. So it's just personal. I may have taken it too far there. I apologize.
No, I think you were spot on.
That's just the type of.
You're gonna have people like that.
Are you gonna take your boys out for a glass of wine someday, May? I mean, it's just.
No, no, I'm not.
You're not going to.
I mean, I've been to a couple of the wineries around here and whatnot, but I mean, wine is not the first thing I go to, even in my, years of getting older.
It doesn't make you effeminate. I love wine, but it's something I enjoy with the person I love, not with the kid I raised. I want to prove that my kid is strong. Like I'm going to drink.
Give him a Coors Banquet.
Yes, you're gonna. Yes, what are we doing? No wonder Texas has assassinated presidents and ruined this country. But we'll get to that hopefully sooner than later. All right, so you got anything else you want to add about that kid, that state trooper? I'm sure they're gonna find out who that state trooper is.
I saw that video making the rounds, but I mean, I watched it and I was like, oh, and that's funny because I was gonna send it to you, but I'm glad you had it on deck. Because it's just like, yeah, fuck, people suck, man. I mean, yeah, the kids were fishing in an area they weren't supposed to, but that conversation could have went a lot different ways.
Well,
I mean, to
yeah,
threaten to shoot them, to blow their brains out, and he was gonna get away with it because he's a piece of shit state trooper. Like, eat a bag of dicks, dude.
I think that's the biggest thing. That's a good point, because it wasn't just the fact he threatened to blow their brains out, but he used the fact that he was a state trooper to be like, there's not going to be any consequences.
Yeah.
And if you're saying that to those kids, that's not the first time he said it.
Yes, true.
This is a reoccurring offense. I can almost guarantee you.
That's probably his go-to.
If I had a boom button, I'd hit it right there. It'd be,
yeah. Right. He probably uses it home when she makes the sandwich wrong. I'm gonna fucking blow your brains out. I'm a state trooper.
Get away with it, go!
If I was his wife, I'd kill him.
Okay.
We don't need scumbags like that in the earth. He needs to take a dirt nap. You need to write his parents a note.
You know what? That's
Your
exactly how you train your
shit.
daughter. Yeah. Let freedom ring. I went high for you there, May.
Mm-hmm.
All right. You know who else is going high is the El Salvadorian president realizing what was going on in his country.
13 is one of the major gangs.
And they are satanic also.
That was my question. So very little. Sorry. No, but I would hope you will explain it, because very little has been written in the West about this.
They're satanic, yes.
But actually, literally, can you explain?
Well, they didn't start as a satanic organization. They MS-13 started in Los Angeles in the U.S. because Salvadorans weren't allowed to sell drugs by the Mexican gangs. So they created a gang that was called the 18th Street Gang, because they basically wanted to sell drugs in a street, the 18th Street over there. But then division started they started dividing themselves and started infighting. So they created the MS-13. And then MS-13 started outgrowing the other gangs, and they started exporting the organization to other parts of the U.S. And when Bill Clinton decided to deport those guys, he didn't tell our government at the time, I'm deporting this criminal. They just send them here. And they came, there were few, but unchecked. At the same time, some laws were passed to protect minors from imprisonment. And of course, the gangs use that to recruit 15-year-olds, 16-year-olds, 17-year-olds. So,
all right, I pause this for a minute. Have you heard anything about this with MS-13?
No. I know it's a nasty little gang, but I wouldn't say little, but no, I have not heard anything about this. Tucker's making the rounds, huh?
Tucker is hitting some heads on his world tour, and good. He's getting good. No, this MS-13. My only recognition of this was I lived in a small town called Esterville, and this town maybe had 4,000 people there, and yet I remember there being high gang activity. I remember my mom being told that you could get whatever drug you wanted in Esterville. Well, it turned out that there was a high MS-13 influence there in the late 90s. And there was a boy who got involved selling drugs for them. And they found out, this is a story, they found out that his grandpa was the sheriff. So they took this boy out and then they shot him. They hung him from the rafters of a barn, shot him, and then lit the barn on fire. And he was 15.
Jeez, to make a point or what?
Well, now, I mean, with this, with this interview with this El Salvadorian president, maybe it was more than that. If they're out here sacrificing kids, maybe that's what this actually was about.
At the beginning, it was some youth causing harm, assaulting, trying to control their territory, selling drugs, things that are bad, but probably not critical. But they grew, and they started controlling territories. A few years later, they were actually a huge international criminal organization that they have bases in Italy, Guatemala, Honduras, El Salvador, the U.S. Basically, a lot of major cities in the U.S. will have strongholds of.
Right outside Washington, D.C.
Yes, of course. And you have in Long Island and in L.A. It's a huge criminal international organization. So they grew and they started, killing more people just to get territory or to fight against rival gangs or to, collect debts or, money or whatever. But as the organization grew, they became satanic. They started doing satanic rituals. I don't know exactly when that started, but it was well documented.
Yes.
And in our arrest, we've even found authors and things like that.
Yes, I've seen them.
And so they became a satanic organization. And even when you, sometimes when you interview gang members that are in prison, they would say, I'm out of the gang. Of course, they're in prison, but they would say, I'm not a member of the gang anymore. And when they asked them why, I remember I remember the news outlet that made it this, but it's a very well-known news outlet that made this interview with a gang member in person. We allowed them to go into prisons and do the interviews. And the guy that they asked him, how many people have you killed? And he said, I don't remember. He didn't remember how many. Probably 10, 20. He didn't remember. And then they asked him, and
well, I mean, and this just sort of begs to question this not remembering. Was he saying he doesn't remember because of how many people he killed, or he actually doesn't have any memory? Because those are two very different things. And we've seen this in cases where Operation Shaver, if you go into the into our old audio only files on your podcast player, check out Operation Shaver. I mean, there's a guy that murdered a 3-year-old kid and has no recollection of it, but was convinced he did do the murder. And we see that throughout the late 50s all the way to now. Now we especially see it. What was it? Who was the Saran, the guy that killed RFK, doesn't remember killing him. So and it could be just so many people he's killed too, because the amount of violence. What were you going to say there, May?
No, nothing. Nothing. You're good.
What is your position in the gang? He explained how he went up in positions, but I left the gang. I said, why did you left the gang? And he said, well, because I was used to kill people, but I killed for territory. I killed to collect money. I killed for extortion. But I came to to this house, and they were about to kill a baby. And the killer that had killed tens of people, said, "Oh, wait, what are we doing? Why are we going to kill that baby?" And they told him, because the beast asked for a baby, so we have to give him a baby. So he said that he couldn't resist that, so he left the gang. He's in prison because he's a killer, but he left the gang because he couldn't tolerate what he was seeing.
So,
yeah, everyone, you can sing along too. It's Moloch News, Moloch News. He's out there to eat kids and Jews. It's Moloch, Moloch News. It's an update, everybody.
I snuck it in there.
Yeah, nice tie-in. Very nice tie-in.
Huh? The beast? God damn it, dude. What is... I mean,
that's...
What? We can't even trust our Mexican gangs anymore not to uphold Christianity? Fuck.
What are we doing? Where do we go from here if that's the case?
The Catholics have failed us.
They got too interested in altar boys and butt stuff. So, I mean, they've let us down.
And we can't just pretend the Pope opening the door and all that stuff. It doesn't have some sort of huge significance. It's just, I don't know what it is. And there is way too many Wes Huffleys that go around and tell you exactly what it is. And I don't trust their take on it either. I think if we knew what it was, there's a reason we don't know.
Yeah.
There's a reason we don't know. And Mel Gibson's take on the Pope, I don't know if you listened to that Joe Rogan interview, but give yourself a chance. It's only 2 hours long. And listen to his take on Catholicism. Oh, it's interesting as hell.
Oh, I've got to, yeah.
Oh, he's convinced. He's convinced that they're working for the devil, that the church is no longer being ran by Christ. There was this incident right before John Paul II was elected Pope. You know how they always do the white smoke when they've elected a Pope?
Yeah,
so they did the white smoke, but the doors weren't unsealed. And then black smoke came out. And then I forget the timeline. And then white smoke came out again. And John Paul II came out. And they said it was at that moment. It never had happened before. But it was at that moment. Now, it could very well be that, they probably put like the apprentice cardinal in charge of it. They're like, hey, Philip, don't fuck this up.
You put a wet piece of wood or something in there just to stir the pot. He's like, this will be my moments. I will remember it.
We know those cardinals. They're just like them ranchers in South Dakota.
I'm on meth.
You ain't lying. You ain't lying.
All right.
They're under a lot of pressure.
Yeah. Why is that an excuse?
I don't know.
Who's under a lot of pressure is our Pitbull Super Candidate of the Week.
Ooh.
A Pitbull Super, for those who don't know, Pitbull Super is a competition, really, of who's had a rougher week in the day of our lives. And really, what started off as a good day just went horribly.
Pitbull Super. You want to go hard like a dog? You want to go hard like a dog, Big Daddy? Not just any dog. Hard like a pit bull. Oh, yeah. Then you need Pitbull Super.
That is girlfriend approved, so get over it.
Yeah, turn it up loud.
Turn it up loud. Pitbull Super Candidate of the Week. Man getting arrested. Well, here, let me. For those of those, the drunk man.
Will you rewind it?
We can go back. Yeah, right here. Right here.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. We'll play.
That's all it is. No idea, dude. I just know an Asian guy.
So this guy is getting arrested, and in the process, I guess, he has lost clothing, or clothing has slid off of his body. So now they're rolling him over to cuff him.
Hitting his ass and beef with them, man. I don't know, dude. Yeah, Doc. I'm fucked. He's gonna get frostbite.
And proceeds to get his junk frozen to the.
Oh yeah, this yes. Why do they always want to get him butt naked? Like what? I don't understand it. We just to humiliate him even more. Like
well,
Poor damn guy. The guy's pink snake is just getting fucking attached to the concrete and the salt and the snow. He's not gonna need transgender surgery after this.
You know, I don't know what this guy did. Maybe he deserves it, but you know, the unfortunate circumstances is now his balls are literally glued to the pavement. I mean, does it call for the opener this song?
I got my balls to my butthole. Oh my God, what did I do? I can't take a dump, 'cause now my balls are blocking up my butthole.
All right, so this guy, I mean, he understands it. This is unfortunate something, yeah. So
yeah, I mean, they took his shoes off.
Pick him up, Buck.
Is he wearing sweatpants? Like, who goes out to the bars wearing sweatpants? Oh, there he is.
What the fuck?
oh, they just ripped him out. Oh, they just ripped it out. Well, you know,
What
here
is
we
it,
go.
the Christmas story where they put the tongue to the flagpole? That's shit.
Yeah,
Yeah, poor guy.
it must have been a little pre-cum.
Yeah. He's like, this is turning me on.
Fuck for me life right now. Old school Loxy.
Oh, God. Man. If he didn't have foreskin on there, I mean, we fixed that problem real quick. So
now the government's giving out unsanctioned circumcisions. Where are the people?
Yeah.
This is, you know, Alex Jones predicted.
Oh, like I'm putting chemicals in the water that turn the friggin' frogs gay. Do you want?
He's not wrong.
Kind of point. All right, that's enough of that. What else we got here? Well, let's see. Oh, excuse me. I got the
Oh no.
Wendy Williams. We've been talking about her
yes.
lately. Dude, did you see this clip done by Fox?
Williams is locked in a room in an assisted living facility in New York. That's her. The only way I could interview her was to have a camera in the street because we can't get a camera in. She can't really have any visitors. She cannot go outside. She's been out twice in the last 30 days. She has no internet. She, and I think rightly says, she feels like a prisoner.
Are you allowed to go out?
No. In the last 30 days, I went out twice.
She is in a guardianship. And I got to tell you, Lauren, if you saw the Lifetime documentary on her when she was deep into alcohol a couple of years ago, it made sense to have a guardianship. Wendy.
I mean, we can keep watching this.
Why do we care about Wendy Williams? You know?
Really?
Like, yeah.
Really? Why do we care about Wendy Williams? Well,
I mean,
if you can buy me some time, I will show you why we care about Wendy Williams, because I don't have the follow-up clip like a good, you know, co-host would.
Well,
But,
just because she's locked in this, you know, in this building right here. She probably is pissed off because she can't see because her bangs are in her face.
That is on me. Like, I should have looked, you know, I should have assumed, I should have assumed that you knew why my interest in Wendy Williams was, and it wasn't because of her dashing looks. It was because Wendy.
Wasn't she on The View?
No. Wendy Williams was she was on the radio and then had her own TV show. Wendy Williams is the one that exposed Beyonce for not being actually pregnant.
Oh, yes. Okay.
Yes.
Okay, yes.
Wendy Williams is that. And not just that, dude. She didn't just do that, but she like constantly went after Beyonce, which just, you know, this was back, I don't know, like 2016, 2015. No one went after Beyonce. It wasn't even like she was Queen Bee, right? Like, it wasn't. You know,
all the bees were going to come after you, just like the Swifties now, you know?
Yeah, she was sort of the, yes. That's excellent. Here, I'll pull up some clips here. Just you can see here.
Now it just
Now this is,
crumples.
you see how it crumples, right? So this was the early YouTube days where you could still make allegations like this without it being erased. Now this is, first of all, legs tucked in, crumples. You can see it crumple. All right, so we saw this.
Recently,
No one talked about it except for Wendy Williams.
last Sunday, appeared on an Australian show. And when she sat down, the baby bump squashed, bent, and crumpled. Hold on. As ridiculous as it sounds, you know I did my research and we've got the video to prove. Hold on. So people started questioning, was this baby bump real or fake? Now take a look at the video. Okay, so here's Beyonce and she's walking out and everything is fine. She's 5 months pregnant. Then she sits down and, okay, no, we're gonna rerun it until you see it. Let's do it in slow motion. You'll notice she's either giving birth to a frisbee or Stewie from Family Guy. Look at the shape. Look, do you see? There it is, there it is. Okay,
Was this supposed to be Blue Ivy in there?
Yes. Yes, and have you heard about Blue Ivy and the story of who actually she is the child of?
Oh, no.
Oh, my God. Okay.
Where's our girl Jaguar?
We're
Damn it.
analyzing. There it is. What is that?
That the former talk show host has been diagnosed with a form of dementia.
Heartbreaking news. Wendy.
You see, that is a different woman right there.
That is not the same person.
Well,
Williams is suffering from dementia and aphasia.
Isn't aphasia what Bruce Willis was diagnosed with?
I believe you are correct.
Sober now. She is.
This makes a little more sense, doesn't it?
It does.
Feels like a prisoner.
Are you allowed to go out?
No. In the last 30 days, I went out twice.
She is in a guardianship. And I got to tell you, Lauren, if you saw the Lifetime documentary on her when she was deep into alcohol a couple of years ago, it made sense to have a guardianship. Wendy is sober now. She is fine. I have spoken with her for hours and hours, as have many others. And everybody comes up with the same conclusion. She's back to the old Wendy. Yet, she's not only in a guardianship, it's a guardianship that has essentially locked her up and thrown away the key. She has been diagnosed with something called frontotemporal dementia. That's what Bruce Willis has. That condition never gets better. It only gets worse. There is a similar diagnosis called alcohol-induced dementia. That can get better. Wendy is an alcoholic, and she was deep into alcohol. But the fact is, when you look at her 2 years ago, she's gotten better. There's no question. And was this a misdiagnosis? And if so, she's going to get a reevaluation. But for some reason, the Guardian said, we don't think the diagnosis is going to change. How can the Guardian say that? The Guardians only talk to her like once a month. And I got to tell you, I've talked to her for hours and hours and hours over the last month. And this woman is better. She needs a sober coach. I don't think she needs a guardian. This is a country where you're supposed to have freedom unless there's something really extreme, and she's not there.
Who's in control of the guardianship, I do wonder? How can a grown-ass adult be put
I'll
into
look
a
that up.
guardianship?
Yeah, I'll look that up. This is another clip here we can play a little bit. You might get a interest out of.
I couldn't wait to talk to you about this Beyonce baby bump conspiracy rumor, fake pregnancy thing that's being alleged. I just don't even know where to start. So I'm going to take you through it step by step. Here's how the rumor got started. Beyonce recently, like last Sunday, appeared on an Australian show. And when she sat down, the baby bump squashed, bent, and crumpled. Hold on. As ridiculous as it sounds, you know I did my research and we've got the video to prove. Hold on. So people started questioning, was this baby bump real or fake? Now, being a woman who, I had my baby bump, many of you have had baby bumps. I never remember my baby bumps. Just take a look at the video. Okay, so here's Beyonce, and she's walking out, and everything is fine. She's 5 months pregnant. Then she sits down, and okay, no, we're gonna rerun it until you see it. Let's do it in slow motion. You'll notice she's either giving birth to a frisbee or Stewie from Family Guy. Look at the shape. Look, do you see? There it is. There it is. What that is, B. Okay, now let's bring it back and freeze it. Yeah, oh yeah, we're analyzing. There it is. What is that? Is that a baby bump? I don't know. I was on bed rest the whole time. I'm not exactly sure. But I can tell you, when I would get out of the bed and sit up at a kitchen table, I wouldn't be able to sit like that. Like, I was so concerned about my back and the baby. Even at 5 months, I sat like this, right? Well, look, Beyonce has denied these rumors, saying that they're stupid and they're ridiculous. And, there've also been words that, well, she took a picture in a bikini. It's on the internet. Okay, take a look at the picture. Okay, be very clear. Then I'm pregnant too. I mean, anybody who's had a good smothered pork chop or a good burrito, girls, come on, we all get this.
Can we just take a moment and thank Wendy Williams for her service? I didn't even know she was out there slaying dragons.
That's a big fish to catch and reel, is the Beyonce Jay-Z.
Oh, and no fear. Yeah, she spent 6 minutes just on this. I mean, kudos, Wendy. No wonder. Oh,
because people talk, and even in that industry, it's like, ooh, you don't go after X, Y, and Z. And she didn't care. She's like, listen, something stinks.
Well, and all of this comes out after, I forget the name of the singer that supposedly Jay-Z had impregnated, but all this comes out after she mysteriously dies, and then all of a sudden Beyonce is pregnant. Surprise, I'm pregnant, guys. And then this comes out, and Wendy Williams
experiment.
Not buying it.
We have 2 pregnant Wendy staffers, Suzanne and Charlotte. Come on out.
She brought out pregnant people just to prove her point.
I love it.
How you doing? Suzanne, is this my dress?
Yes.
It's a size 8. Mm-hmm. Don't fart in it. And Charlotte, you look lovely as well.
Wendy, you're not used to seeing me in a dress.
I was going to say neither.
Listen, I'm just going to pause this moment here since we got side profiles. And can we talk about women on the East Coast? I mean, God damn it, that she moves her head and she's in a different time zone. Her nose hairs are on Central Standard Time. It's and I'm sorry, like, I am against women getting plastic surgery, except for the nose. I get it. Just, you don't want to date a pterodactyl.
The Jews are the right. I mean, that's their right. Have that nose. That's okay.
And maybe that's small penile syndrome on my part, but
could be.
You're taking away valuable inches with a nose like that, and you're making me feel small. Like, you can't get all the way down there because you got 5 inches of nose, and
you should have a lot of extra cartilage to really, fold it over to the side.
I've got to stop this. I'm getting dirty looks from the keeper.
One of them come to work like this. We are all about Uggs and leggings here at Wendy, right? To do the good work. Mm-hmm. All right. Now, Charlotte, I must tell you, in the red dress is due in November.
Late November.
But Suzanne is due in February, like Beyonce.
Exactly.
All right. Do you know whether you're having a boy or girl?
Nope, not finding out.
Are you due boy or girl?
No, but if it's a girl, I'm naming her Beyonce.
Oh, God.
Okay, so the chairs are out here. And Charlotte, first you sit like a pregnant lady sits.
Okay, here we go.
Uh-oh. John, maybe we need you to hold the chair. Just steady it for the girls. Well, you didn't do anything weird. Belly didn't turn into a frisbee. Suzanne, let's see you sit. John's going to hold the chair. Oh.
Wendy Williams deserves a round of applause. I'm just
Wow.
Yeah, no, so.
Well, I want to know who Blue Ivy's mama is, or who carried that conspiracy.
Well, I mean,
I don't want to put you on the spot.
Yeah,
I'm gonna
well,
look
you
it
are.
up.
But I did find out who is the guardian of Wendy Williams, and it's a lawyer named Sabrina Morrissey. That's all I can find really about her. Sabrina Morrissey. But if you see a picture of her, she looks a little evil. I mean, I'm just gonna I'll just show you. You know, see it? See that right there? Yeah. I don't know about that. All right. Well, that is who has locked Wendy Williams into an assisted living place where she can only conduct interviews via phone calls through a glass window. I mean, that's insane.
I still don't understand how an adult gets put into a guardianship.
Britney Spears.
Well, I know, but that her family did that, like her dad or whatever. So I understand that, but like that white woman is not Wendy's mother. Like, you know, unless it's for the brand or for like, and she's on the board, I guess, of Wendy Incorporated or whatever the piss, and that gives her the power to fucking make those calls. I don't know, but I mean, damn.
Well, and it's always, I don't know, dude. It's always stuff like this happening in New York.
Yep.
You know what I mean? It's always stuff in New York where they can just detain people and put them through torture. And
Jody, why wouldn't you just put a talk show, Lincoln, Nebraska, Des Moines, Iowa, South Dakota, just somewhere out there? Who's gonna fucking come and put you in a guardianship there? You can still reach viewers and everything. You just gotta broadcast it, and you gotta promote it like a son of a bitch. You don't have to go to one of the crazy bits.
She's got no internet. She's got no access to anything like that.
No, I know, but I'm just saying you stomp on shit like that, and you get into the weeds of certain things, and you're in a hotbed like New York or California or whatever. It's just like, why?
Yeah, that's true.
You know
Get
what I
out
mean?
of there.
Yeah.
Get out of there. No, I agree. Well, if anyone else has a better take on old Wendy Williams, it's been new to me these last 3 months of learning about her. Blown my mind. I had no clue, because I remember her from COVID, and she messed up in COVID. She was all for the jab. You remember her fainting?
Yeah.
On stage, that was a big thing. But there was a lot of peer pressure when it came to that, and she was focused on fighting other demons that were a lot bigger issue than focusing on that, I guess. But let's never forget.
All the religious groups are against me because I'm talking about population. They want more souls. I want less on the planet.
Just a reminder when people are like, why are they doing that? Why would they do that? It doesn't make sense. Why would they do that? That is why. Here's a fun little space fact for your Fantom Factors out there.
Russians took a tampon and swiped that big tourist window on the space station. They got like a big round one where they can kind of hang out and look down at the Earth and stuff. They swiped it, I think, 10 times in 6 years. I forget the exact numbers. Every one of them came back with the scum on the outside of the windshield were diatoms, bacteria, viruses, diatomaceous plankton. This stuff is raining down more or less constantly. The Russians published this paper that said, we went and tested their scum outside the space station that is clearly life and it's not contaminated. They were very careful with it and whatnot, right? And what are their choices then? Either it came up with, and all of them are incredible, so it makes a great little spaceship. Think about a spaceship. You're that tiny little virus, and you've got this gigantic dust particle. Everything we see here had an origin somewhere else, DNA-wise.
Oh, shit. That's very interesting.
I wonder what Flat Earth Dave's explanation is for a story like that. Obviously, they never left the firmament.
He would have to bust out his strings and his flashlight and do a demonstration in his kitchen. It'd be worth the listen.
It would be.
I'd just like to get him on here to see if there's any more groundbreaking evidence in Antarctica. You know?
Oh, I mean, that's one thing at a time right now.
Oh,
We've
so
got,
okay. Do we think like in 2052 there's gonna be like a ginormous like space virus animal thing that just comes crashing towards the Earth? You know?
Have you ever seen that interview with Elon where he's talking about we don't have a lot of time? Wow.
Is there gonna be a meteor that hits us?
Well, I mean, it's just sort of weird because you know all those, and maybe he's just playing on it. But here, I found it right here. But maybe he's just playing on his weirdness too, you know, or maybe he's convinced himself of this as well. But it is odd because this is a driving factor for him. Here, watch this little clip.
It's also pretty amazing that on a project of this scale, you're still measuring things in days. You're still like a day, you know, I mean, that's impressive when other people are like,
really minutes and seconds. Yeah.
Yeah. Wow. I mean, it's nonstop. It's not like you're doing that because there's a launch in 2 days. You're doing that the whole time this place has been developed. It's been like down to you're counting every minute and second.
I told the crane operators, what would you do if there's an asteroid heading to this planet in 8 days?
Yeah, exactly.
That's what they were told today.
Yeah.
And who knows? Maybe there is.
Yeah. I mean, you never know. I think if we operate with extreme urgency, then we have a chance of making life multiplanetary. It's still just a chance, not for sure. If we don't act with extreme urgency, that chance is probably zero. And the rate of innovation is not going to be constant. It's either going to increase the rate of innovation or it's going to slow down.
I mean,
it's also pretty amazing that on a project of this scale.
I mean, it really couldn't take a lot away because the guy in the red hard hat wouldn't shut up and let Elon go. But so Elon thinks that we're just on a time clock.
I mean,
makes sense.
It's just sort of giving off those vibes, you know. Just like, I don't know, dude. Do you think he's an alien? You think Elon's an alien just out here playing the Jesus role, trying to save humankind?
And then fix our budget? That'd be great. Like once he gets it completed, he just like shivers and he like he becomes the alien. That'd be dope.
Oh, and by the way, no, he's gonna have to wait.
And then the 19-year-old that bosses people around that he's put in Doge to just fucking crack the whip. He's an alien too. I'd be down for that.
Well, it's just, I mean, we've seen those reports, and now, you know, that came from old Secretary of Defenses from Israel and Canada, all talking about how they have this meeting place in Mars where they all sit down and figure it all out and tell Trump what to do and what not to do. I mean, just weird stuff that you wouldn't expect from a 90-year-old man to be on his deathbed, be like, by the way. Or maybe that's just a lifelong troll. You know, I get that too, man. Like, hey, let's go out with a bang. Let's tell the whole world there's aliens and just, die laughing while we burn in hell for all the horrible things we did.
I would go with that. If your cachet is that big, why not just on your last breath be like, I got a fucking doozy for this motherfucker. And then boom, hey, we meet on Mars. Trump is going to be this, and there's a small circle that runs it. Boom. Because people are going to talk about it.
Yes. Yeah. I mean, it's just what a weird time we live in. What a weird time we live in. Welcome, all 63 viewers on X. Thank you for giving us a listen. We appreciate it. I've got a murder mystery to finish out the night with. If you
in Indiana,
if you want to go down that rabbit, nope. This one's verified. It's verified. Thank you, asshole. God damn it.
What happened?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, no. What'd you say? Thank you. What?
Oh, I said thank you. You're such a sweet hole. Yes. No. Murder mystery from 2011 of a teacher, a 27-year-old teacher.
Dude, this is interesting because most 27-year-old teachers are going to prison for sleeping with their students. So this is a nice twist.
Or
was that insensitive?
That was insensitive.
Shit, my bad.
Especially since the parents are out there trying to find justice.
Damn it, you should have led with that. You should have led with that. Oh, God, I'm sorry.
It's okay.
1,000 pardons. 1,000 pardons.
You know, I'm sure she would have appreciated the humor if she had not been stabbed 20 times.
Oh, son of a bitch. Okay.
You know, you're right. That is my bad. Here, let's do a quick little overview of Ellen Greenberg.
It was January 2011 when Ellen Greenberg's fiance found her body on the kitchen floor inside their Philadelphia apartment.
Oh my God, she stabbed herself.
She had bruises all over her body. She was stabbed 20 times, front and back.
The medical examiner originally ruled Ellen's death as a homicide, but then quickly changed it to suicide.
Okay, I'm sorry, but how was that a suicide?
All right, let's recap here. First of all, can we listen to this guy say, "Oh my God"?
Kitchen floor inside their Philadelphia apartment.
Oh my God, she stabbed herself.
Does that sound like a loving husband?
No.
Oh my God, she stabbed herself.
Okay, so
listen, I first of all, before we get really into this, to say that this was a suicide, I don't know about most of you out there, but like when I clip the end of my fingernails and I get skin, I'm like, dang it. I don't like, how can you, do you have to be so jacked up on something to like break skin and just keep, there's no way. I'm sorry. If front and back, how are you going to suicide yourself getting in the back there?
Do we want to get, we're going to get there. We're going to get there.
Inside their Philadelphia apartment.
One more time.
Oh my God, she stabbed herself.
So I just find that interesting because he says that right off the bat on the phone call.
This is her husband, or
she had
fiance. I don't get the connection here, but yes.
Had bruises all over her body. She was stabbed 20 times, front and back.
The medical examiner originally ruled Ellen's death as a homicide, but then quickly changed it to suicide.
We've never believed that Ellen killed herself. The facts just don't support it. Somebody else did it.
Ellen's parents believe that too, and have been fighting to prove it for more than a decade.
It's been 14 years that we've been trying to clear Ellen Ray Greenberg's name.
Now, after years of investigations and multiple lawsuits, Philadelphia's medical examiner changed his mind, writing in a sworn statement that Ellen's death should be designated as something other than a suicide.
The cover-up's always worse than the crime, right?
And Greenberg family attorney William Trask believes there was a big one, saying the scene had been cleaned, all evidence washed away, before a crime unit was even called.
And they concluded there on the spot that it was a suicide. I think it was those mistakes, those bad decisions, that ultimately they wanted to sweep under the rug.
He says physical evidence proves Ellen did not take her own life.
One conclusion from her examination was that the stab wound preserved there had been administered after Ellen was already dead.
Trask also arguing Ellen couldn't have physically stabbed herself that many times from behind.
And the medical examiner's office had blown that off.
But Ellen's family feel.
How do you blow that off? How do you blow that off? Let me just play a little more clip here.
To the Chester County District Attorney, if memory serves me. They looked at it for a couple of years, and they found the same determination as well. Transfer.
That's Governor Josh Shapiro.
That's supposed to be the Democrat hotshot to take down Trump and be the almighty. And this is the motherfucker that is supposedly paid for an assassination.
It sure is. It sure is. This is also this guy, just in case people need to. Remember the guy signing bombs that they were going to drop on the drop in Ukraine? Yeah, look at old Zelensky over there, just tickled pink. This is the same guy that came out and said,
the Chester County District Attorney, if memory serves me. They looked at it for a couple of years, and they found the same determination.
They just found the same. They found the same thing. Like she stabbed herself 20 times, front and back. It's such a bummer.
That stinks.
It's such a stinky.
I mean, she must be incredible because no one's got that arm reach to do that.
Yeah, let's play this guy.
Shapiro ran when he was Attorney General of Pennsylvania, something that I've been digging into a lot on Human Events Daily, been posting a lot about this. And this is the case of the suspicious death of Ellen Greenberg, something that we really need everyone to focus on. That this is a case, take the politics out of it, right? Left, right, RD. This isn't about that. This is about a case of a family who lost their daughter in 2011. She was found, her body was found in her home, in her apartment, East Falls, Philadelphia, stabbed 10 times in the front and 10 times in the back.
She stabbed herself in those areas. Look at that chart. He's going to go over how.
Including, by the way, we're told 2 stab wounds, which were found to be post-mortem, meaning the wounds, the stabs, took place after she was killed. Now, how do they know this? Well, that's because the medical examiner has testimony that there was no hemorrhaging at those wounds. What does that mean, no bleeding? Well, how could there be no bleeding from a stab wound? That's because your heart's not beating, because you have no pulse, because you've already passed away. That's why we call it post-mortem. So the question then is, why was it that this case was ruled a suicide and not a homicide? And why was it that in 2021, when this case came up for review at the Pennsylvania Attorney General's office, was the case also ruled a suicide? So it was up for review, ruled a suicide. Who was the Attorney General of Pennsylvania at the time? Oh, that's right. It was Josh Shapiro. That case, by the way, just this week, the Pennsylvania Supreme Court has opened up a new petition in this from the family, which has maintained all along that their daughter, their poor daughter, was murdered, that they've been petitioning for a review of this case. The Pennsylvania Supreme Court is now bringing it up and said that Josh Shapiro's office and the other offices that were investigating this need to explain why they support a finding of suicide in this case, despite so much evidence to the contrary. And a lot of people are starting to ask questions about potential conflicts of interest that Josh Shapiro and his office and his campaigns may have with the family of the fiancé of Ellen Greenberg, saying there's a lot of ties, both familial and financial, through donations and others, with the guy who was the fiancé of the victim at the time. And so a lot of questions as to why he was not investigated, why he was protected potentially by this very powerful legal family in the state of Pennsylvania.
Very big legal family in the state of Pennsylvania.
Serves me. They looked at it for a couple of years, and they found the same determination as well.
You know, we tried real hard, scratched our head, we stayed up late, and we just kept coming to the same thing. She did it.
It was the craziest thing. She stabbed herself post-mortem.
Yeah, you know.
I've never seen anything like it. Usually when we investigate these suicides, it's double headshot to the back of the head.
Yes.
But this one, inventive. This was personal.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
That's what they say with stabbings. It's personal. It is. It's different than pulling shooting someone. It's you get in there because you got to get close. Unless you have a fucking samurai sword and your name's Tom Cruise, you really got to get in there and get it. So,
well, they were saying like some of the blood was lateral. That only happens if you're laying on your side, which means when they found her sitting on a chair, she had been placed there. Now, the original phone call by the boyfriend is, and I didn't clip it, and it's my bad. But the original phone call from the boyfriend was, did you clip it? No. He's talking about how she locked herself in the door. He can't get in. And they're talking him through it, him getting in, and then he opens up the door, and that's the clip you hear at the very beginning where he's like, "Oh my God, she stabbed herself." And then the cops come, clean everything.
Odd. Very blacklist. Very.
And then the dude doing the autopsy says, "Oh, suicide, or murder. I mean, suicide. I mean, something other than suicide."
Now that I sit and think on it, yeah, it's. We might have to relook at it.
Well, and this is, we talk to these Gen Xers or boomers who just can't believe in conspiracies. Well, how could you keep something like that quiet? Well, I mean, we're going to show you. We're going to show you why people keep stuff like that quiet. It's because it's no bueno for them. Like this information getting out them fucks their plan. Well, what's their plan? Well, let's see here. Let me pull this up here. Yeah, right here. So I did a little digging into old Josh Shapiro. Now you remember, he's been, like you mentioned earlier, May. He's sort of been in the news lately. A whistleblower supposedly filed something about him knowing the assassination or him setting it up.
Yep, in Pennsylvania.
Right. Shapiro, I mean, no relation to Ben. I looked into it.
Okay.
It's funny. Can't really find anything about this guy. I mean, I know he was born in the great city of Kansas City, Missouri, but then quickly moved out and set up his father. All right, his father right here was in the Navy, military man. Steven Shapiro. Can't find anything about this guy, old Steven Shapiro. But he served as a medical officer. And that's according to Josh's record by joshshapiro.org. Just updated recently. Isn't that interesting? July 25th, 2024. Then they moved to Pennsylvania. And then did you send a clip on X? Oh, you did? Oh, on Messenger? Okay, I'll pull it up. Thank you. If you could send it to me on X, that'd actually be better. I think that's a research director just being amazing. She's better than Jamie for several reasons.
I mean, this show doesn't run without her. So
it doesn't. And 10 times better than Jamie for me as a co-host, because I mean she's fully clothed today, but some days the research developer.
Is that a Patreon episode, or are we just pushing the limit too far?
We've talked about the feet pics, and she told me no, I can't. So it's off the table.
Well,
although I have beautiful feet. Josh Shapiro has a dad named Stephen Shapiro, which I can't find anything about. But what is interesting is that there was a former governor of Pennsylvania named Milton Shapp, who would have been of fathering age for old Josh Shapiro's dad. And he just so happened to be the governor of Pennsylvania. And the craziest thing about old Milton Gerald was that his original last name was Shapiro.
Ooh.
He changed it, though, because rightfully so. No, I'm not going to say that. But
Say
he
it.
changed it because it wasn't going to definitely going to get voted in with a Jewish last name.
Yep, you said it. Thank you.
And I'm not saying that's right or wrong. I'm just saying be who you have to be. And if people can't get behind that, then better luck to the next generation. But don't go John Stewart and change your name from Leibowitz to Stewart. Be a man.
Yeah. No, you have to. You have to fit in to get in.
No, you don't.
Well, I'm just saying that's how the
I mean,
powerful
yeah,
play.
for these guys. Yeah.
For some reason,
You're right. Someone probably came up to him and said, "Listen, man, we're all behind you, but it's got to be Shap. Got to be old Shap."
Because
anyway,
Milton is real strong. You're doing it right there. I love the first beginning of it, but the last part, we just can't have it.
It's rough, and no one has to know about Gerald. All right, now, so I mean, it's just I find it interesting. There's clearly no links other than my mental exercise I'm doing right now. But I'm just saying, oh, this guy, during World War II, Shapp served as an officer, U.S. Army Signal Corps in North Africa and Europe, which, well, I mean, we know they loved managing communication and information systems. So we definitely, I mean, just go to Operation Shaver, that episode. We go all into what these guys were doing in Hungary and all across Eastern Europe. Rebuilding telephone lines. Well, that's what this guy was doing, right? And then he came back and started his own business. And, by 1966 becomes a nominee for governor of Pennsylvania. So, do I have proof that Josh Shapiro is, the illegitimate grandson of Milton Shapp? I don't have it, but I am saying I cannot find anything about old Shapiro Poppy other than he was in the Navy, medical officer, 1973. That's it.
That's odd. There's
got to be a record of it. Yeah. There's got to be. You see the link below, scrolling. Email us if you know. Josh,
if you're from Pennsylvania.
I'd ask Josh to email it to me, but he'd probably miss my email spelling by this much.
Yeah, very true.
It's just
just by the turn. Just by a turn, he'd miss it.
Also, interesting fact is that him and his family are all board members of this company, the Toll Brothers, America's luxury home builder.
Oh.
They're publicly traded on the New York Stock Exchange.
Let's see. What's their stock at? TOL.
Well, here you go. There it is. Ooh. This is since 2016. Now, you go, let's see, 1 year. Let's go 1 year here. Big dip right after Trump survives assassination attempt. It's a big bummer right there. And then another big dip in August when old Tim Walz gets picked for VP. But you know what? Ukraine came in and gave him some back end money. It's everyone else. Now I don't know. I'm not smart enough. If you're smart enough to figure this out, but look at this growth, dude. Look at this growth. This is the last 3 years. Let's go 5 years max. I mean, man, these guys did really good.
What you want to see.
Yeah. I mean, look at COVID. I mean, before COVID, they're trading right around that $33 range. And then after COVID, they shoot up to a 156.74. They shoot up 660%.
Interesting.
Toll Brothers. Look at these luxury homes.
Oh my God.
You can see timelines. Yeah. This is them. These are the brothers right here. I don't know. Now, I don't know how the Shapiro family got involved with them. But I mean, these guys are worldwide. And by worldwide, I mean, all across the United States. But they got like 62 locations. Let's see here. Go.
Could they build me a house?
Listen, if they're building you a house, I'm taking all the donations for myself. That's just how it's.
Oh, that kind of houses. I see. Yeah. Oh yeah. There we go. Okay, never mind. I can't afford that house.
Joins the board. Christine and Garvey joins the board. All right, they're gonna see here. Builder of the Year award by Professional Builder.
Interesting.
I'm not business savvy. I'm just a poor man on a poor side of the street. But I find this stuff. If I understood, I think you could find something in here of some significance,
some value. Yes.
Yeah. I mean, let's see. Enters Tennessee with the acquisition of Thrive Residential. So they're going around buying up contractors. Is that what's going on here?
Yeah, something. Let's see.
Establishes 2 additional ERGs. Believe, Black Employees Leading Inclusion, Excellence, Vision, and Education, and Mosaic, multicultural organization supporting on inclusive culture. This is 2020. Opens new headquarters in Fort Washington, Pennsylvania, with a host of integrated features that promote ESG priorities. This yeah.
Interesting.
It is. I don't know what to make of it.
No, not yet.
Just and that I'm going to preface it. I also don't know if the information that was given to me was correct about them being on the board. But it was posted out there, and it's worth digging into the Shapiro guide. And the reason why it's worth digging in, besides this Toll Brothers angle, is how do you see someone stab themselves 20 times and you're convinced? You're convinced. I don't know.
Yeah, that doesn't that doesn't make sense.
Here, I got the audio right here.
Oh, okay, yes.
So here's the audio.
Oh my God! I need everything out. I just walked to my apartment. My fiance's on the floor with blood everywhere.
What is the address?
4601 Flat Rock Road. Please come help now.
4601
Flat Rock Road.
Is this a house or apartment?
Oh no! Oh no! It's an apartment.
What apartment number?
Please hurry, please.
Where is she bleeding from?
I don't know. I can't tell.
So you have to calm yourself down in order to get you some help.
I'm sorry. I don't know. I'm looking at her right now. I can't see anything. There's nothing broken. She's bleeding. Ellie.
You don't know where she's bleeding from? Can't tell where it's coming from?
I think.
Okay,
here.
23 times and you don't know where it's coming from? I mean, I'd say just take a guess. And you're gonna be right.
LA.
Yeah. Like,
I mean, and how fresh is this? You know.
I think her head. I think she hit her head. I think.
and this is the same stooge in the first one where he was like,
We'll keep. Yeah, we'll keep.
God.
But it's everywhere. It's everywhere.
She might have fallen. Do you know what happened?
She may have slipped. There's blood on the table. Her face is a little purple.
Okay, hold on for rescue for her. Stay on the phone.
Philadelphia Fire Department 842. What's the address? No.
4601 Flat Rock Road. Please hurry.
4601 Flat Rock?
Yes.
What's wrong?
I went downstairs to go work out. I came back up. The door was latched. My fiance's inside. She wasn't answering. So after about a half hour, I decided to break it down. I see her now, just on the floor with blood. She's not responding.
Okay, is she breathing? Look at her chest. I need you to calm down, and I need you to look at her chest. It's really.
I really don't think she is.
He looks at her chest and he doesn't see multiple stab wounds. He thinks she's hit her head.
Was she wearing like a sweater and a jacket? Like, what do you? Is this guy that dumb?
Has he got blood all over his hands?
Yeah.
I mean, like all that evidence was destroyed.
That's
All
what
of
you
it?
said. When they got there, it was all cleaned up, right? It looked like it was.
Yeah.
Someone's on the way. Look at her chest. Is she flat on her back?
She's on her back.
Okay, look at her chest and tell me if it's going up and down, up and down.
I don't see her moving.
Okay, do you know how to do CPR?
I don't.
Okay, I have to tell you what to do, okay, until they get there. I want you to keep her flat on her
God.
Hello.
Who doesn't know how to do CPR in 2011? The Office came out with their episode.
Yeah.
Everyone saw that. Don't fucking bullshit me, Greenberg.
Huh?
Yeah, hi, okay.
Willing to do CPR with
Stay alive!
me over the phone until they get
I have to, right?
Okay, so get her flat on her back, bare her chest. Okay, you want to rip her shirt off. Okay, kneel down by her side.
Oh my God, Ellie, please.
Listen, you can't freak out, sir, because you.
Okay, I'm trying not. Her shirt won't come off. It's a zipper. Oh my God, she stabbed herself.
Where?
She fell with a knife. Oh no, her knife's sticking out.
Her what?
The fuck?
I mean, it just went from not believable to completely unbelievable.
Yes.
There's a knife sticking out of her heart.
Come on, bro.
You
Like
know
a Boy
what?
Scout, like a little pocket knife, like
Now that
something
I'm
your
looking
wife
at
keeps in
it-
the dresser. What are we
Now
talking
that I'm
about?
looking at it, there's
Yeah,
a
there's a knife.
steak knife
Yeah.
sticking out of my girlfriend.
You know,
And my
let's go
first
make a
reaction
sandwich.
is, she didn't fall while making me a sandwich. It was she stabbed herself, that crazy bitch.
Oh, she stabbed herself?
Even the five, listen to her.
Yeah.
She's like, oh, okay, well, we'll get to that later. But let's see if we can give her CPR, you asshole.
I guess so. I don't know where she fell on it. I don't know.
Okay, well, don't touch it.
Okay, so I just let her down here now. I mean, what do I do?
No, I mean, you can't. If the knife is at her chest, it's going to be kind of hard for you to do CPR at this time.
Oh no! Oh my goodness! Okay.
Here, let me pull it out and stab her multiple times.
Police the shop breather. 277.
Is someone coming here?
Yes, they are. You said 4601 Flat Rock, right?
Yes.
Okay, someone's on the way. And the knife is still inside?
Wait, your what?
The knife is still inside of her?
Yes, I didn't take it out.
Was it her chest or what area did it?
It's like it looks like it's right in her heart.
Okay, someone's on the way out there. Okay, just get.
Oh my God!
Can we just look at the picture of this dude? First of all, not working out. This guy's cheeks are way too chubby. Oh, research director dropped me a little tidbit. Knife also never fingerprinted.
Oh my God!
How old is she?
27.
27. And there's no sign of life at all?
No, please don't be. What?
Then turn to her arm and tell me if she responds to pain.
Ellie, She's not. Her arm, her hands are still warm. I don't know if that means, but there's blood everywhere. I mean,
I know, but you can't. And the knife is still inside of her. How far? Can you see how far it went in?
it looks pretty deep.
Okay.
It looks pretty. It's a long knife.
Don't touch anything. Yeah, don't touch anything. Okay.
I'm not touching anything. I can't believe this though.
So wait, it was just you there with her?
I can't believe this, bro. Is this just like what?
Like totally. I just came upstairs and
we were
her
going
face
to
was purple. Oh, there's a knife there.
I guess I'll still have to go to dinner with the friends tonight, but I'll be the center of attention.
We're the only ones here.
And she ran in the door. You said latched it shut?
No. I went downstairs to work out, and when I came back up, the door was latched. Like it was, it wasn't like it was like locked from the inside. And I'm yelling. So I was,
Was your
yelling.
house broken into?
No.
So there's no sign of a break-in?
No sign of a break-in at all. I mean, there will be when you get here because I had to break the latch. But
yeah, that's convenient.
To get in.
Okay, so this is 01 Flat Rock, and this is a house, right?
This guy looked like he's breaking down a door too.
He looks like a fat Jersey Shore Italian.
It's an apartment. Apartment.
Someone needs to stop that car alarm going off in the background too.
People are called Pennsylvanians, but it wasn't.
Oh my god. All right. Thank you. Bye.
Yeah, there you go.
Interesting.
There you go.
So no more steam or anything's been, or we're catching it now when it's getting all hot again.
It is resurfacing because the Supreme Court has decided to take a look at this.
Okay.
But I mean, just her poor parents, dude. Like,
Yeah,
I don't know
that's
how you.
terrible.
I don't know how you ever stop trying to find the truth on this. And then meanwhile you've got old Josh Shapiro just telling you, hey,
Governor of Pennsylvania, Josh Shapiro, also now answering his first question in years on the Ellen Greenberg case. 14 years ago, the 27-year-old Philadelphia teacher was found dead in her apartment. The cause initially labeled a homicide, but then changed to a suicide. Shapiro inherited the case when he was the Pennsylvania Attorney General, and in 2022, his office agreed with the suicide ruling. But now, the Philadelphia medical examiner believes that Greenberg's death is not a suicide.
Yeah, so, I mean, he may not be involved with the murder of her. I don't think he is, but he is involved in a machine that murdered her.
Yes. Because the way that was handled on his end is it's very buttoned up, and hey, this is going to be coming your way. We need you to do your thing.
Yeah, I mean, you can see it when he says it.
To the Chester County District Attorney, if memory serves me. They looked at it for a couple of years.
They looked at it? I mean, for a couple of years.
And they found the same determination.
Oh, I hate that look, dude. Sort of. Sorry for your shitty luck. We're not going to change your mind.
And they found the same determination as well.
Josh Shapiro, the future of the Democrat Party. Keep an eye out for old Joshy. He sacrificed evidently enough people. He can
get
hit
passage.
Yeah.
Yes.
For him.
Could you imagine Shapiro and Fetterman just on a ticket running for the Democratic Party?
I want to see Shapiro and David Hogg on a ticket.
Yeah.
Have you followed David Hogg at all on X?
No.
Unbearable.
Ugh.
Yeah. I think he ran for vice president of the DNC. I can't remember if he got it or not. I think he did.
Oh, is that the Parkland, Florida kid?
Yeah.
The school shooting kid? Oh, yeah, he did get it. I think.
Yeah. That's
that cuck.
Yeah. Oh shit. Big
what,
time.
What are they doing over there?
They don't know. You know, that's the thing with the Democrats is they are just poor lost little puppies right now. They've gotten that they're going to latch onto this Elon in court thing for a minute. But it took them 3 weeks to figure out a game plan. I mean, and they still haven't mobilized to the full content. Interesting fact by Naomi. Ruled a suicide. The family was never given the life insurance.
Damn. Although it was changed just recently.
Well, that's just one
insurance companies. Here we go. Don't shoot them in the streets. But hey,
that's what we really need to get rid of. Insurance companies. No. All right. Anything else you want to hit on today, there, buddy?
No, this was great. This was quite the large net of stuff.
It was. Well, we cast a large net, Fantom Facts, and we see what sticks. And we use barbs on our nets, hooks. Yeah. We're not ashamed. No humane entertainment here. It's all painful. All right. Well, join us for the Talking Heads podcast Sunday at 8 over on Project Constitution. And then next week, who knows what's going to happen by next Wednesday? It's just been accelerating at an insane rate. But you'll find out here on Fantom Facts. And don't forget,
if you don't subscribe to Fantom Facts Society, then don't talk to me or my son ever again.
Ever again. Also, he's coming on the 26th.
Heck yeah.
Brush up. You are the power.net. All right, everybody. Have a good night.
This is the emergency broadcast system. This is not a test. Repeat, this is not a test. This is our advice to take the following steps. If exposed, remove
Podcast for the curious mind. I don't know what that means.